Hey, what's up guys? My name is Fox and welcome to another video. We're all really sad about the delay for Lost Ark. 2022, it seems so far away. But again, I'll just tell you, I'll encourage you, try out the Russian version. But we're not here to talk about that. With the delay comes one positive thing, which is that I'm gonna be able to make more videos. And I will be able to explain you more things that you should know when you start playing Lost Ark, obviously, because you're gonna make mistakes, but I'm gonna try my best to help you avoid those mistakes or forget things. In another video where I was talking about the 15 things that you really should know when you start Lost Ark, I was made aware of the fact that I sometimes consider things a bit, how to say this, that people should know them or do know them, but they obviously don't because they've never heard of them. For me, they're obvious. For you, they might not be. So today, we're talking about tripods. What are they? And what do they do? And everything that. Basically, all tripods today. Again, this is just recorded live, basically, because I prefer to show you these things while I'm talking about them instead of editing a video. So I hope you guys are fine with this. I just think it's the best way to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's get into tripods. So basically, what are tripods? When you press the button K, you open your skill menu. Just letting you know, you can always reset your skills for free. You don't need to be worried about picking the wrong skill tree or something. You can always reset them. This is something I get asked a lot. Reset your skills for free. You press this button and boom, it's all back to zero. You get all your skill points back. Now tripods. So when you go to a skill, you put points into it. Here I have 10 points. It allows you to choose a tripod. This is what we call them by default. The tripods here, these things here. What do? They enhance your skills in different ways. They give it certain attributes. They allow you to change them around. They just give it some form of special thing to it, you know. For example, in this skill here, I can choose to either have a small forward step when I use a skill, to have the cooldown reduced, or to do more damage to basically random small mobs. The second part of the tripod basically is that here you ignore 40% of the enemy's defense. Here you have you do a pushback and you do more damage. And here you have is that you just have more hits on your skill and you do 50% more damage. Lastly, the last tripod is always one of the most significant ones. They usually really determine what your skill is going to be like. This is why you most of the time really want to pump most points into something, like up to obviously level 10, because it allows you to choose one of the last tripods, which is very, very important. And the thing about tripods is that usually you have certain tripods that are preferred for raids and certain tripods that are preferred for random mobbing or open world content or whatnot, you know. Now the thing is also that I'm gonna give you another very clear example what tripods do. So this is my skill called Shield of Faith. What it does, it puts a shield around you. And if I put 10 points into this, I get to choose that this also heals. This is insane. The skill turns from okay to wow. Like adding this heal at the end of the shield is incredible. Obviously, you also see here it adds 10 seconds of cooldown, but that's definitely worth it. Now, another example is also here. For example, if I go into a raid that has a guardian or a boss that applies debuffs to the party, that's like a burn or something that slows them down, I can choose to run this tripod, which dispels one debuff of all my allies. That's incredible. So if I don't run something like that, I can just choose to go with long lasting, so the shield just lasts a bit longer. Or if I know that there's heavy damage, I can choose for my shield to be shorter but increase the efficiency, so having a bigger shield. This is what tripods inherently do. They change the way your skills work, and they're obviously also sometimes very situational. I'm not gonna lie, there's some tripods that you just look at and you're like, no, this is just not good. But usually most of the tripods feel like they have a specific use. For example, in PvP, you would use electric discharge. So basically every time your shield pops, you do additional damage. You can also run this in Chaos Dungeon, for example, when you're just mobbing by yourself. You don't need to heal yourself in Chaos Dungeon. Like, all these tripods usually have some form of use, all right? So now you know what tripods are and what they do, but there's quite a lot more to tripods. So after you have chosen your tripods, You can enhance them. You can, not all of them, but some of them are enhanceable. Basically, when you run Chaos Dungeon, which is one of the daily things, you can drop gear that has tripods on them. You can see here, for example, Holy Knight, Shattering Steel, Quickly Prepare level 3. On this one, you see, again, Shattering Steel, Sieve level 3. Basically, this means that I have a higher level of a tripod I chose on this piece of gear, which enhances the effect. Let's go again, look here. For example, let's go to the one that we have on this piece of gear. That is the sieve here, right? So you can see here, current level, it says level 1. If I get level 2, the damage is increased to 59%, right? Here you can see it is increased from 50 to 57%. Basically, tripod levels increase the effect of the tripod you choose. This doesn't work for all of them. Some of them, for example, the healing one, I don't think you can increase that one. Actually, yeah, there it says current level 1 max. So this tripod cannot be increased. Not all of them can be increased, but most of them. Here you can see here the duration gets increased, right? Here you can see the effectiveness of the shield gets increased. So all of these tripods, or most of them, can be enhanced. Now you cannot really go there and push something into them to enhance them because they're always at base level 1, but you can drop gear pieces from Chaos Dungeon that allow you to upgrade those tripods. That's the only way to upgrade them. Obviously, you can also go to the market board. We're going to do that and show you really fast. So I'm going to go to the auction house. We're going to go to bidding. And I'm going to look at, I don't know, all. And you will then here, I go to my gear, that's important for me. And then you will see every time there's a pop-up here of these thingies, I will go over that later. There is a tripod on them that my class or the class I'm currently on would like to have. So you can buy them from the market board. But it's going to be quite expensive, especially at level 4. If we go to the artifact gear, which is currently the best gear, you can tell that some of these tripods, like this is just a piece of gear with a tripod on, like they're gonna go up to quite high numbers, right? Like it can get very expensive to have these tripods at higher level, but that means also you can drop them and you can sell them. So anyway, we got a tripod piece from the Chaos Dungeon. What do we do with it now? We take it to the tripods replacer. The tripods replacer is a very important guy that you really need to pay attention to and focus on. So basically here you can see that I have my gear piece that I've equipped here, and then below I have the ones I dropped from the Chaos Dungeon. So I go, for example, you can see here I have already tripods on this gear. I have also tripods on this one, but there's, for example, one tripod that I have no use for. I don't need this tripod. Again, I'm gonna go over these thingies here afterwards, don't worry about them. So what I do, I will try to transfer the tripod from the piece of gear that dropped onto my gear. Alright, this is again a bit of RNG, so I choose the one I want to replace. And then I choose the one I want to have on my gear. Now you can see I have a 15% chance of success and cost me 10,000 shilling silver, which is not much, don't worry about that. But obviously there's also a resource you can use, which is the first class powder, to enhance this. So now it's 30% chance. Now obviously if I fail this, the piece is gone and it's lost. But we're still going to do that now. I'm going to attempt this and hope it works, because honestly, I want this, you know. Didn't work, bad luck. Now we go to the next piece I have. Here we have quickly prepare on that one, so why not? Go for it. Try again to put it on there. Unfortunate, we didn't succeed. Here we have the same one now, but it's only level 2. The other one was level 3, so our chance of success is now 30%. If I use the powder, it's 60%. So now it should succeed, right? No, it didn't. That's unfortunate. Well, here's RNG for you. Anyway, this is basically how it works. You get gear from the Chaos Dungeon and you put it on your gear. Now something else very important. You can save your tripods. So basically I have this piece of gear here with 3 very nice tripods on them. They're not crazy good. They're just there and they're helpful. I can now choose to save them here. You can see here there are different tripods here in the library than the tripods I have here, right? There's no purify here. There's just completely different. So it means I haven't done that yet, which is a good example to show this. What I could do is that I use the tripods that I have here in my library and press on apply, and it would put these tripods here on my gear again. But I don't want that since they're not good. I want the ones that I have right now to be saved. All right, so we're gonna save them. Boom. I'm gonna do that now with every piece. Save them all. All right, we're gonna save them in our library. This is very important. If you replace a piece of gear, you still have your tripods later. So for example, if I would now upgrade my gear into orange tier gear, for example, I could then go into my tripod library and put the tripods back on my gear that I already had. This is also a very handy way. For example, you get a piece of gear that has 2 very high tripods on it. You can then choose to, instead of trying to get them on your gear, you can just save them to the library and overwrite them on the gear. So this is something that's very important and you should really pay attention to. Don't ignore your tripods. Tripods are incredibly important and it can increase your damage by a significant amount, like really huge amount. Lastly, you saw these weird, I don't know how to, these icons there that you see in the top corner of these pieces. This one doesn't have it. These are notifications. They're like showing you there's tripods on this gear that are good. This piece has no good tripod. These are all useless, so it doesn't have this. Now, how do you do that? How do you make this notification pop up? Basically, again, we go to our K menu, all right, to our skill menu, and here is a set tripod. Here you can go over all the skills you have chosen, and then you can choose what tripod you want to have notification. For example, here I see I have quickly prepare over cracked blade because I'm currently in a different set. I'm in my Chaos Dungeon set, so usually I use quickly prepare. Let's do that really fast. Let's go back to my raid setup. There we go. And now we do set tripods again. Now you can see here I have quickly prepared chosen, and you can just click on this here and it will then pop a notification if you get this tripod. So that's how you set the tripods. And if you have a tripod that's already max level, like for example, here we have 2 of them, we have the total concentration, the stigma, which are max level, that means they cannot be increased. Very simple. This is something you really want to do because you don't want to go over every piece of gear that drops and then look at them and be like, does this have a tripod? No, you let the game do that for you. This is very handy and will save you a lot of time if you set this up. So don't forget to set this up. Now, another very small thing is that you can also change the notifications. If you go into your settings and you go to gameplay, show, you can go to the very bottom and you can choose here what tripod notification you want to get. What level? Do you want it at level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4? Now, this is something I usually keep at level 2 because most of my characters are around purple gear, which is level 2 tripods. Now, if I had only characters at yellow gear, I would put them at level 3 because a lot of the times you want obviously the higher level of tripods. Right? You can also just choose here, effect item level lower, item rank below. Like this is just something you really want to go into and change that, because if you have this at level 1, you will even get notifications for the tripod if it is level 1, but you should be getting a level 3, for example. This is just basically a QOL thing, and it's very nice. And honestly, that's about it. I mean, I talked now for 13 minutes about tripods, but I hope you understand what they are, how they work, and what they do. Because I think they look very scary from the outside, but they're actually very simple. They change the way your skills behave, which also allow you to make very cool sets or cool skills. Usually you have kind of predetermined tripods that are good for certain raids and certain activities. But for example, in Chaos Dungeon, you can just run whatever you want. That's like your solo instance, so you can mess around with this. Whatever you like, you can choose whatever you like. You can play the skills you like with the tripods you like. So on top of the 8 skills that you have per kit, or some kits or some classes have more skills in their kits, you can also then just change around the tripods and mess around with them and make a very personal setup that you enjoy for certain stuff. Obviously, just to give you an example, you don't want to run this tripod cracked blade now if you are in raid, because this does only more damage to opponents that are on a lower level, like the ones in Chaos Dungeon. But in Guardian raids, this tripod would have no effect at all. So there are tripods that will be useless in certain circumstances, right? This is very important. For example, here I have Find Weakness. This does 54% more damage to enemies that cannot be stunned nor knocked back. So this is what I use in a raid environment. Outside of raid, I might use Critical Chance, or I might use this one. It's super important to know where your tripods are, what your tripods are for, and what they help you with. So make sure that if you choose your tripods, choose the ones that are fitting the content you want to attempt. And honestly, I think that's about it. Now it's been already 15 minutes, but like I said, I hope you guys now know what tripods are, because they are really interesting. They are fun and have different stuff going on, and obviously, yeah, they are important, and you really don't want to miss out on saving your tripods, because that can just really, well, make you lose damage, especially with the tripod saver that I showed you, but that's really, really important. On the minimap, by the way, the icon is this one here, the one you saw on my gear. So yeah, that's it. If you guys enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe or like. That would be awesome. If you have other things in Lost Ark that you have heard about, but you're not sure what they are, you are very free to ask me, and I might just make a video about it, considering we now have so much more time. And yeah, that's it. You can also stop by my stream. That would also be really cool. And I hope you guys learned what tripods are today, and hope I was able to solve all of your questions concerning the tripods. All right, good. Then that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I hope that all of you also have a great, phenomenal rest of your day wherever you live. I'm out.